What's up, everybody? It's your boy DTLF back with another video. This is going to be a little different because you guys normally I don't like to get into this type of politics, but this is very necessary, man. So I wanted to give you guys my reaction to potentially the NBA season being canceled. Now, we all know that the games just got canceled for today and potentially maybe even tomorrow. And they're going to have a meeting, the NBA Players Association and the NBA are going to have a meeting later on tonight to determine how they're going to proceed moving forward. Now, I'm going to wait till this chat gets a little more filled up, but I want to give you guys truly how I feel about this. I want to let you guys know. And I want to start off by saying that I'm not happy about this. Now, not about the players. I'm very happy and proud of the players. The NBA players have made me proud today. They're standing up for what's right. And so it's not even that. I'm really dissatisfied and upset with the fans. There's a lot of fans on here that are mad at the NBA players. And I want to just take a quick minute to just educate you really quick. If you're mad at the NBA players, then you shouldn't be an NBA fan because the NBA is the most diverse league in the world. And I absolutely love what they're doing. They're standing up for what's right. Enough is enough, guys. There was no justice for Breonna Taylor as of right now. You know what I'm saying? And recently what happened in Green Bay, man, very disappointed that there needs to be justice for Jacob Blake. We need justice for him as well. If you guys haven't checked it out, go ahead and look at the news. I'm not here to be the news for you guys and tell you guys everything. But basically, another black man was shot and killed. And there has been no justice. Matter of fact, I've been watching videos surface on the internet how people are out there protesting, and you got these racist people out here walking alongside the cops shooting these protesters. So instead of getting justice, you're getting more injustice. Yet here's why I have to educate you, or not killed. I'm sorry, he was shot. Here's why I have to educate you, man. Here's why I have to educate you guys. Okay, let me tell you something. Would you, if your family member was just shot, potentially, in a critical situation, would you just proceed about your life, or would you stop everything, drop everything, and basically give that your full attention? Right? Put yourself in their place. Have some compassion. NBA players are sick of this. They have a platform and they're not being heard. In the words of J.R. Smith, if they don't want to hear us, they can no longer see us. And that's fair. How in the heck do we expect NBA players to just proceed like nothing happened when, minorities, particularly black people, are being killed every single day? How? And then they don't want people to stay quiet. They want people to stay quiet, not talk about it, and just play. Put yourself in that place. If it was your family, your brother, your sibling, even if you're not African American, if it was anybody close to you, you would drop everything and you would seek justice. Wouldn't you? Because if not, then you're not human. That's all I got to say. Straight up. If this doesn't piss you off, then I don't know what you're doing rooting and cheering and watching the NBA, because these people have lives. They have emotions. They have feelings. They have relatives. They have family members. They have other people to worry about. All right. And these are people that are being impacted on the daily, man. I'm telling you what, when President Trump first got elected, my brother was held at gunpoint. My brother's a little darker skinned than me. He was held at gunpoint during the ICE. Remember, they had the ICE. They were retaining people from, ICE and all that. Supposedly, they thought he was in a stolen vehicle. They confused him. So they pointed a gun and he said his life flashed before his eyes. One of my best friends, you guys may know him. I'm not going to say his name. Maybe he doesn't want his story out there. But he was held at gunpoint as well in Oakland just because he's black. And it's like, really? For no reason. For no reason. Just based off of the way you look, the color of your skin, you're not getting equal treatment in this country. Enough is enough. At the end of the day, they have to do something about it. And this is how you hurt them. You hurt their pockets. Obviously, the NBA is owned by ESPN, Disney, all these major corporations that are basically the man. They're going to be hurt because they had to scramble to see what they're going to air in these networks today. They had nothing to air. That's huge. You know what would be even more huge? If they cancel the NBA season. Would it hurt me? Of course, I love basketball. However, I am completely taking a stand with my brothers and sisters, man. I am with the movement. They have to do what they have to do. And honestly, to the ignorant people out there saying that this doesn't impact, it doesn't affect, should we all stop going to work? You know what? That's not a bad idea. Let's all stop going to work. Why not? Look, at the end of the day, nothing's going to happen unless people take a stand. And to those people that are saying, hey, All you have to do is vote and then don't worry about it. Stay in your lane, basically. Voting isn't going to help anything. Politicians aren't going to do anything. We have to take a stand as minorities, as a people. Not even minorities. White people have to stand in solidarity too. Everybody should stand in solidarity because it's one nation under God. It's not, white nation under God or black nation under God or brown nation under God. It's one nation under God, right? So, indivisible and justice for all, right? Isn't that what we pledge? So to those officers that are killing innocent people, pledging every single day, they're breaking that pledge, man. And basically, this corruption can be no more. So it is for, I'm sorry, invisible. Yes, it is for those reasons that NBA players have decided to take a stand today, and nobody should be upset. If you guys are upset, be upset at the officers. Be upset at your government for not bringing justice to America. What I'm saying? Like, I wouldn't be shocked now if they cancel the season. And everybody who's outraged about that cares more about basketball than about human lives. Then you shouldn't be watching basketball, man. Straight up. Straight up. Like, you should not be watching basketball if you don't care about players on a personal level. If you just want to be entertained by them, then basically you're no different than that racist white guy from what was his name? I forgot his name. That's how irrelevant he is. From the Clippers. Was it Steve? No, it's not Steve Ballmer. What was the other one's name? Donald Sterling. If you do not care about black lives, if black lives don't matter to you, if you're upset, you think that they're acting up, that they're basically overreacting, then don't watch basketball. Please don't be Donald Sterling. That's all I got to say. Don't be Donald Sterling. You have to actually, I personally love the NBA. I love them as if they were my relatives because you watch these players grow up. You grow up with them. They become a part of your living room. They become a part of your life. I cover them. I make revenue off of them. So it would be hypocritical of me not to support my brothers and sisters that are fighting these type of injustices. They're doing nothing wrong. They're just simply taking a stand. Basically, they're taking a stand. And I don't care. Call me fake news, whatever. Doesn't matter. I know I'm going to lose subscribers. That's cool. You guys basically show your true colors in these moments of disaster. You guys take your side. You're either with us or against us. It's that simple. Raekwon said, racist and their disdain for black men, but will root for their favorite sports teams who are assembled by black men. The hypocrisy dance, shake my damn head. Thank you for the donation, brother. I agree. Like, that is hypocrisy at its finest. And to be honest with you, look, man, I don't care if you guys hate me. I have this platform here to express myself, and this is how I feel at the end of the day. I know I'm gonna lose subscribers. I already have. That's okay. Bye. Have a nice life. But if you're here with me for the right reasons, you know what's up. You know what's up, guys. I grew up in Compton, California. I've been a part of prejudice before. I've been to rich neighborhoods. I already told you guys a story about when I used to work for that sports agency where they told me to wait outside just because I'm Hispanic. Think about that. That's just a small, and that's just me feeling, I felt horrible. But that was just on a small scale. Imagine now what black men and women go through every single day, basically fighting battles that seem never ending, that have been going on since way before the Martin Luther King era. If we just basically, I'm gonna tell you this, if everybody just conformed to the way the country is now, then we're no better than Nazi Germany at this point. If everybody just conforms and does whatever the police says and basically, go to your homes, don't riot, don't do this, don't do that. I'm sorry, not riot, don't protest. If that happens, guys, this is going to be basically, it isn't a free country anymore. This is Nazi Germany, and people are out here choosing their favorite colors and then basically gassing the others. It's like, that's not fair, guys. And yes, I am a minority, so I see it from our point of view. But at the same time, even if you're not a minority, you have to take our side because you've seen it from a third perspective, right? Third person perspective. Like, this can't continue to happen. And at this point, it's bigger than sports. I love basketball. I will continue to cover basketball, but I will also stand in solidarity with the NBA players and with African Americans. Some of my best friends are black. I understand where they're coming from. They've told me their stories. I've seen it firsthand. I've felt it. I've dealt with it. My own family members have went through it. Prejudice is unacceptable, man. And at the end of the day, you're with us or you're against us. If you're against us, please stop watching basketball. Please. That's all I got to say. If you're against the whole Black Lives Matter movement and you're one of these all lives matter people who are just basically turning a blind eye to what's really going on in America today, then just please stop being a hypocrite and go all the way racist. Just do, like, Basically expose yourself all the way. Don't try to blend in with us. And as soon as, something critical happens, like, more innocent people getting shot and killed, as soon as that happens, that's when you show your true colors and you're a chameleon. Stop it, please. So that's why I'm upset at today. I'm upset at those fans that don't want to take a stand, that basically rooted for Kobe and cheered for him, say rest in peace, Kobe, but then they wouldn't take his side. If Kobe was still alive, he'd definitely be in favor of protesting. Would you go against that as well? So that's all I got to say, man. That's all I got to say. And it's tough. He said, I can respect what the Bucks did. Absolutely. The Bucks started it because it was in Green Bay. It was in their backyard in Wisconsin where it happened. So rightfully so, they did that. And so it is what it is. I know I'm going to get some hate comments. Time to read some of you guys. Let's see. I already see it. He said, hey, Dan, been listening to you for a couple of years, but first-time commenters, shout out from New Zealand, justice for all. Still affects us over here as well. We are with you. Thank you, brother. I appreciate it. We have to stand with our NBA players for sure. For sure, man. And the good and the bad, He said, Dan, I'm against the earrings. That's funny. That's fine, man. That's your opinion. Dan, stop ignoring my comment. Not ignoring your comment. I was getting my point across. Now I can read your comment. He said, I've been watching you since the beginning, and I'm a fan, but I'm going to stand up for a person who had a warrant for sexual assault. Okay, look, man. Look, at the end of the day, like I said, you guys want to criminalize, everybody based on what somebody did, but it's still excessive force no matter what. No matter what, excessive force is excessive force. If somebody had a warrant for somebody's arrest, you have multiple cops on the scene. You can apprehend an individual without putting your knee on their neck and without shooting somebody in the dang face. You can do your job without being excessive. But like I mentioned to a friend, power corrupts. You ever held a gun in real life, guys? This is the reason I don't like holding guns. If you ever hold the gun in real life, it feels really empowering. It's almost like a little devil gets inside of you, like your inner demon gets inside and makes you feel like you could shoot anybody and take over. That's a horrible feeling to have, especially for certain people. I'm not saying I felt it, but it is a little feeling of power that I'm sure people who shouldn't have guns and do, they abuse. I've had family members who didn't make it to the police force and they have a great heart. Yet you have all kinds of evil people out here in America actually wearing the badge and disgracing it, to be honest with you. I'm not against police officers. I'm against racist, corrupt police officers. That's what I'm against. And this is why they need to be held accountable, because obviously not all of them are the same way, right? It depends on what area. Most of these crimes are happening in predominantly white neighborhoods, or in racist towns, racist cities. So at the end of the day, look, I'm telling you this. There needs to be change, and these people need to be held accountable, period. No matter what the color of your skin is. It could apply to a black officer shooting a white cop, a white person as well. Not that that ever happens, but if that does ever happen, they need to be held accountable too. But right now, the victims, man, are black people. They're the ones that every day I turn on the news, somebody else was shot. You know what I'm saying? So that's why we got to stand in solidarity with them, because one problem, one issue at a time. And right now, the issue at hand is that. They feel like they don't matter to the world. That's a huge problem, because they matter to the world, man. They are a huge part of the culture. They are a huge part of everyday life, and they're just, great people. And evil people, you have evil people in every culture. Obviously, there's evil people in every single culture. So to those of you that are naysayers and say, no, well, I've met this person, and they were like this, or that person, they were like that. You have evil people in every culture and every race. However, I grew up in the neighborhood, and I know my neighbors and my friends and just some of the best people you can ever meet. And if you are racist and ignorant, it's because you've never experienced what I have. So you're missing out, and you're never going to experience as long as you have a negative mindset and you shut out, all kinds of cultures and differences, that just because they're different looking from you or different living than you. You know what I'm saying? Not everybody was blessed enough to live in a nice area. Personally, me, I've been living in apartments my whole life. I dream of the American dream, the day that I can purchase my home. I dream of that, and I work for it. However, not everybody's blessed enough to be in that situation. There's some people that are born into rich families, and they're set up from the get. And just because they were privileged enough to do that doesn't mean that they should treat others like myself any differently. He said, exactly, Dan, you said it perfectly, excessive force. But some people are quick to find the little things people did wrong in the past to justify the cops. Most people that justify cops is because they have family members that are cops. However, you don't see everything that goes on behind the scenes. You don't see what your family member sees. You don't see what happens, like I said, in these racist communities. It's different. Everything's different. Just because cops are good here in a certain area, don't mean cops are good in that other area. I mean, have you guys not seen Training Day? That's basically how a lot of cops are. A lot of cops, you'd be surprised, they're very corrupt, man. I've met a couple in my life. I've been pulled over by corrupt cops. I've been told to shut up when I'm trying to speak out for injustice in real life by corrupt cops. I've been looked at with the gaze of a killer from cops before. Like when I speak up for my brothers or for anybody who's going through anything, and I see it and I say, you know, something, they tell me to shut up or they're gonna arrest me, and they give me that horrible gaze. Like, it's just, power does corrupt certain people. Now, I don't know what the whole process, the training process for police officers is, but it needs to be changed, man. It needs to be changed. Man, he said, Dan, if you don't mind, tell us a story of you dealing with racism. I already said one of the stories. I don't know if you guys were here the other time. I used to work for a sports agency. I was basically just an intern, but it was, what was the name of it? I worked very little. It was only like 3 days, so I forgot the name of the sports agency. I'm not gonna sit here and make one up. And so, you know, I would walk out there and offer all kinds of vacations and stuff to businesses, and they would tell me to wait outside. It was downtown Riverside. You know, everybody knows that's basically a white community. There's a lot of white people that live there, and so they're not used to seeing too many minorities come to there. And when they are, they probably don't treat them the same. I don't know. Bottom line is, every time I would walk into their businesses, they would critique me for one reason or another. You know, they'd be like, "Young man, get your hands out of your pocket when you speak to me." You know, they would be really upset looking at me, and then, or they would tell me, "Go wait outside. Can you have him?" They wouldn't even address me sometimes. They wouldn't even look at me. They'd say, "Can you have him wait outside?" to the white person I was working with. Like, I'm right here. You can address me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would tell them, "I'm right here, sir. You could look me in the eye." Like, it really would piss me off. However, you know, out of respect, I would, you know, because they're elders. You still got to respect your elders. I will step out or whatever. But at the end of the day, look, I said why racism is wrong. If that building was burning down and I was the only one around, and that elderly person, no matter the skin tone, color, race, nothing, was in there as a victim, I would go in there and try to save them. I would risk my own life. That's why you shouldn't be racist, because you never know when you're going to be in need. You know, not just that, but it's just not right. And that's just one of the very few situations. Like I said, my brother, you know, when Donald Trump was voted in, he had all these ICE, you know, law enforcement and all these people putting stops everywhere. He was held at gunpoint, and he said his life flashed before his eyes. He thought he wasn't going to make it. His eyes got teary when he told us this story. That's just very few stories, but there's been many, man. When I was younger, my house got robbed. Cops didn't even want to write it on the report, you know, because where we lived at, it was in the ghetto. And so, but I promise you, if it was in a different, you know, in the suburbs or somewhere nicer, they would have probably even took fingerprints, you know. So I don't know. But also, if you live in the ghetto, you know this, right? If you call the cops, they don't get there till like 3 hours later, and then they don't want to press charges or nothing. If you live in a nice area, they get there within 5 to 10 minutes max. So it's tough, man. It's tough, but at the same time, and I see these comments right here. This is why people need to educate themselves. Myron Jr. said, "Yo, Dan, and the Lotero got beat up by a black dude. What's your thoughts on this? Do they get a pass due to Black Lives Matter?" Absolutely not. That has nothing to do with Black Lives Matter. Like I said, every race has idiots in it. Every race has bad people. They too should be held accountable. Nobody's saying that, oh, they get a pass. Heck no, man. I know people in their own culture, in their own race, that called them out about this and said if they see them on the street, they're going to check them. Like, seriously, that's basically scapegoating. You know, Myron, you can't think like that, because that's ignorance, and ignorance is bliss. You're happy isolating yourself from a certain race or culture based off of bad actions. You're excluding yourself from a lot of positivity that race and culture brings to you. So please, man, please don't ever think because one person did it, they're all the same, because that's not the case. That's being very shallow, simple-minded, and that's just, you know, there's idiots in every race culture. There's a bunch of idiot Mexicans, and I'm Mexican. I love my people. There's a bunch of them that are robbing, stealing, killing, raping, and all kinds of stuff. You know, every race has that. So you can't go off of that, man. And you know what I'm saying? You can't basically say, oh, this is okay that the cops are doing this because that's how they are. No, that's really wrong. Like, that's a really wrong way of thinking, man. He said, I have autism and I've been racially profiled by a bunch of cops and securities thinking I'm going to steal most of the time. He said, I'll have trouble looking people in the eye because of my disability. And I'm so sorry to hear that, Joseph. That's tough, man. And this is why I feel like they need to be better trained. They need, because look, these guys don't even probably know what autism looks like if they throw them out there in the field. You know what I'm saying? Like, they need to be better trained and educated. That way they can better serve the community, because officers are there to serve the community. They're supposed to be there to, serve and protect. That's what the oath they take is. They're not there to kill, shoot, and bully people, which is what a lot of officers that are in corrupt situations do. So, you know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, look, man, my best friends are all kinds of races, but mainly I have a lot of black friends. Like, based off of how I grew up and the culture and the things I like, we basically connect. We click. We are very similar. We have a lot of similarities. So those are my friends and my brothers and my sisters, and I connect with them to the point where I will never understand what it is to be them, but I can kind of see from the outside looking in what the things that they go through, man. And it's tough. You will never understand, no matter what your race is, unless you are of that race. But I can kind of understand. I can kind of look into it, and I definitely care, and I definitely love them, and I want them to be, treated the right way, because it hurts me, man. It truly does hurt me to see that, man. To see that, and to see how such a beautiful culture can be treated as anything less than what they are. A beautiful culture, and they bring so much. Come on, man. Some of our favorite rappers, music artists, athletes, politicians, anything, are African American. They're black, and you know what I'm saying? They're not just there for entertainment. They're there for us to care about them as well. They're people just like everybody. We're all people, man. We're all equal. So this is what hurts me, is that everybody has to be treated on a different level based on where they were raised, how they look, how they act, how they talk. A lot of people from the hood are more educated than people from the suburbs. Just because we talk a certain way with slang or something doesn't mean we're not educated. Doesn't mean we're not smart. If we just haven't been given the same opportunities as other people have. That's all it is. And so when you see me writing in whatever I'm writing in, and I'm not whipping, and you look down on me because of that, you're wrong and ignorant, and it's sad. Just because you were in a better situation. Like, nobody should judge nobody based on how they look, how they dress, act, wear, slang, anything. You just should never judge a book by its cover. And if you treat everybody equally, you'd be surprised how much love there is to reciprocate. Like, you will get some of that love in return. Like, I've been invited to all kinds of different people's, like, we've done, what do they call those? Where you cook different things from different cultures. What do you call that? Potluck? Is that what it's called? Potluck? I've been invited to a potluck where, my African friend made an African meal, which was freaking dope and delicious. And we made like a Hispanic dish mixed with an American dish. Like, you just miss out on so much, and it's ridiculous, man. And like I said, ignorance is bliss, and they have to learn to accept one another, because when you do such a beautiful thing, I feel comfortable in my neighborhood that's so full of different colors, man. And we come out and say hi to each other, and there's nobody hating on nobody. Like, it's a beautiful thing. So, Dan, you're getting a whole lot of hate I see from the dislikes. I hope those losers never come back to this channel again, because they're not welcome here. And it doesn't even hurt me that they dislike me, man. Keep disliking the channel, because in reality, your hate is not hurting myself, man. Your hate hurts you. If you hate me based on what my opinion is, then you don't want to listen to these facts that I'm spitting, you're hurting yourself. You're shutting yourself up, to reality. And that's okay with me. It's not going to hurt me. I'm still going to be happy. I'm still going to have my family, loved ones around me to support me, and the real ones that are on this channel as well, extended Laker family to support me. But it's okay. Haters are fuel, and haters make us greater. So keep disliking, guys. You're really just exposing yourself. He said, Kenny Smith just walked off the set of Inside the NBA. I applaud him for it, man. I applaud him for it. He's standing up for what is right, whether they fire him or not. I doubt it. They need him. But I'm saying, whether they fire you or not, you have to take a stand for what is right. Sometimes it's not going to be the most popular thing to do. Sometimes it's not going to be the most well-received thing to do. However, you have to be always true to yourself in the way you were raised and taught. Unless the way you were raised and taught was the wrong way. And I think as you become an adult, you start seeing what's right and what's wrong. So there's no excuse that that's the way you were raised in a racist culture, so you're going to be like that. No, it's up to us to change the next generation, man. You have to cut it off at some point. If you're whatever race you are and your family member is racist, You have to educate them on why what they're saying is not true. It is your responsibility, whether you're black, white, Hispanic, Asian, because there's racism in all cultures. We've all grew up listening to our uncles say, said person is this, said person is that, these type of people are this or that. But it's our responsibility to look them in the eye and say, no, you're wrong. I'm sorry. I'm sorry if you're going to be mad at me, uncle or aunt or grandpa or grandma. But the truth is not that, and then peacefully and calmly explain to them why your stance is different. Because remember, altercation never gets you anywhere, man. You can yell at them. That's only going to make them seem like they're right and you're crazy. But the best way to get to something is the way I'm talking to you. Firmly, but, straight to the point. He said, I called it before the start. I had my doubts that the playoffs could finish. I hope I'm wrong. Look, we all love basketball and we all hope that this thing finishes out. However, if it's for a greater good, if it's for a bigger cause, I completely support them. And it's not like basketball's not going to come back. In my heart, the Lakers are already the champions because not only did we make the playoffs, but we're dominating in the playoffs. And it was just a small sample of things to come for the near future. He said, Dan, do you honestly believe change will ever happen? I'm curious. This has been happening for decades. And like Tupac said, there will never change, sadly. There will never be changes, sadly. Did Tupac say that? No, Tupac said there needs to be changes, man. I don't know if a full change will ever happen, but small changes have happened. If you look at the course of our history, minorities now have the right to vote. Minorities can now become rich and make, obviously we can all, there's no more segregation. Well, on the surface, there's no more segregation. So we've made huge progress over the years. However, there's still a lot of work to do. And you have to, man. You have to keep fighting. You can't give up. Like I said, what do you expect NBA players to go out there and say, oh, they shot another one, let's just keep playing? Nah. This is why they have that platform. This is why they have to go ahead and take advantage of it. They're hitting, the man where it hurts, in their pockets. And I'm completely for it, man. Again, whether people dislike me for saying that or not, I know a lot of people are selfish and they only care about their own entertainment. Some people were saying that they're going to cry because the NBA season is going to end. It's like, you should cry for the people that have died as well. That's more important than basketball, man. He said, hope you're doing well. Thank you, man. I'm doing very well. I appreciate you for checking in, my brother. So then I agree with you, brother. I'm a proud black man and I don't condone violence, but I want me and my brothers and sisters and my child to be treated as equals and not criminalized because I'm black. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. I can only imagine, I'm scared of cops and I'm not black. I'm Hispanic. And obviously they're not as strict on me as they are on black people. But I can only imagine how it feels. Imagine driving in your neighborhood and seeing a cop car and all of a sudden, your blood stops. Imagine having that level of fear. I saw a video where this young black kid, man, he was outside playing basketball in his backyard and a squad car was passing by and he just basically was on the blind spot of the car so that the squad car wouldn't see him. That broke my heart because it's that's the level of fear that they experience daily from the moment they were brought into this earth. I can't imagine that. I dislike interacting with cops, but am I scared of them when I drive by? No, I'm not, because I'm not black. So I can kind of understand what they go through, but nobody can really understand but them. All we can do is support them, fight for them, and love them like they deserve to be loved. That's it. We can't do nothing else. You'll never really understand what it is like to be black unless you're black. So they know exactly what they're going through. We can only see it. He said they're boycotting, so you stop watching basketball and start watching what's going on in the world. Absolutely. You have to educate yourselves, man. There's things out there that are way more important than basketball. As much as we love basketball, and I always say basketball is my life, you have to love those that are entrenched in basketball as well. You have to care about those players. I care about my players. I care about my Lakers. I care about even the Clippers, believe it or not. I care about what Doc Rivers said. I dislike the Clippers as a franchise, but do I hate them as people? No. I have love for them because, they all go through that struggle. And so at the end of the day, it's bigger than basketball. You put the hate to the side that you have for the sports franchise, and you unite as one to fight the greater evil. That's what you have to do. It's like the Avengers, man. The Avengers couldn't save the world in the movie if they were all divided, right? So they had to unite. And I know that's a cliche and corny comparison, but that's just the first thing that comes to mind. Together we stand, divided we fall. We have to unite. One nation under God for real, for reals. Am I voting this year? Yes, I'm going to try to vote this year. I know they say it's really hard and all that, but yeah, we're going to see. We're going to see what's up. Even though I don't really like the candidates, I'm going to do my part to pick the least worst possible outcome. You know what I'm saying? Like Trump cannot be voted back, in my opinion. But that, again, that's my opinion. I keep my politics to myself. I'll let y'all vote on whoever you want. He said, don't watch the news, though, bro. They are all run by racist owners. It believed not to be announcers, always mess up with racist comments. I don't watch the news. You know what I watch? I watch other people's angle, like when people send me cell phone videos and stuff like that. That's basically what I form my opinion on, because videos ain't going to lie to you, man. You can clearly see what's going on in the world. He said, sports fans, I know they just blame Trump. He said, give love, not hate. Show some love, Laker Nation. Oh, good. Hey, they don't have to show me love. You know who they have to show love to? Our African-American brothers and sisters that are battling these racist cops on a daily basis. You know, this government that doesn't support them. That's who we have to show love to. Don't show me love. I don't care. This is a video. I'm not going to tell you hit the like button. I'm not going to tell you to subscribe. Nothing. Do whatever you must. If you dislike what I'm saying, unsubscribe. Please do us all a favor. But show support to those communities that are struggling, man. You know, if you have a platform, if you have a lot of followers, retweet stuff, you know, post it. Do whatever you can to make this a more aware situation, because everybody needs to educate themselves on what's really going on out there. Dan, did you see Marcus Morris step on Luka Doncic foot? Yeah, I did see it, but I'm not going to try to address basketball in this video, man. This is strictly a Black Lives Matter pro video, and that's it, man. Just that's all we have to do. He said, justice, it's a scary thing to come out of my house knowing I got to watch out for cops' killings. I feel you, bro. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. We with you, man. We're with you, bro, in heart and mind and spirit. He said, unless Biden promises to give the Black community reparations, then I'm not voting. Hey, Brittany, you know what? I completely understand that. And I've thought of not voting, honestly. But at this point, I just really don't want Trump back in house, man. I really don't. He said, this moment is bigger than basketball. Absolutely. What's up, Martin? Good to see you, bro. Dan, do you think crazy protests will break out again? At this point, man, I don't want to predict anything, but they have to do whatever it takes, man. We have to do whatever it takes to send a point across. And I mean, I hope they're not destroying businesses and stuff like that, but we do have to have our voices heard, and we have to go out there and just hopefully the government listens, man. Some good things did come out of the last couple of protests. For example, a lot of police funding was cut and stuff like that. So, you know, again, when you unite your voices, good things do happen, especially when you do it peacefully. But at this point, I wouldn't be opposed to anything, man. Dan, while I don't agree with you, I still love you. And that's all that matters. You don't have to agree with me, man, but I hope that one day everybody sees the light. And what I mean by that is I'm not spreading hate to any race or culture. I'm spreading love, and I'm preaching unity. You can't be against that. No matter how you flip it, twist it, turn it, no matter. You know, it's all about love. And don't just love me. Love the players for taking the stand. Love African-American communities and societies. You know what I really love about them? How unified they are. I feel like if a lot of other people were just as unified, we'd get more accomplished. Honestly, you got to love that, man. You got to love that. He said, Trump has done nothing but bad since he got into office, only good. That's your opinion, and I completely disagree. That's your opinion, and I completely disagree. But again, I'm not going to get into those type of politics. That's hours of arguments that I'm not trying to have. It is what it is. I thought you didn't get into politics then. I don't, but this is necessary, man. This impacts the NBA, which is what I cover, so I obviously have to get into it. And, you know, I'm proud to represent for what's right. I mean, that's different. That's a little different than politics. This is bigger than politics. This is about racial equality. That's what this is about. And I want to make sure I get my words right for this one. But this is about that. He said, Kyrie Irving is right, Dan. Again, I never critiqued Kyrie for what he was saying, man. I never did. However, you know, the players have done nothing wrong. They restarted everything because they thought things were going to pick up and get better. You know, they thought after the protests and everything, things would get a little better. Unfortunately, people are still not being held accountable. So they have to do it again. And this time they have to double up. Dan, does this affect the NFL too? Are they going to cancel their games too? I don't know, because the NFL doesn't support the Black Lives Matter movement. The NFL is known to be racist for the most part. And so I don't know if they're going to support anything or whatnot. But again, that's just my opinion. You know, make your own opinions about any league. I'm not trying to sway you guys. If you guys love the NFL, go for it. Last year, I had to stop watching because of what they did to Colin Kaepernick, and the fact that they basically pretended to give him a chance to come back and really did it. So I don't know. He said, I'm Mexican American and I'm voting for Trump. Please don't block me, Dan, LOL. Look, Myron, what you do politically doesn't affect me. However, if you say racist stuff, I will definitely block you. But yeah, just keep it respectful. And I pray to God that you don't have his same political views, because that's just really annoying. He said, people are getting evicted out of their homes under Trump. Again, if it doesn't impact you, you'll never know. That's what I'm saying. Like, you have to put yourself in somebody else's shoes to care and understand. You have to be loving, man. And that's what makes me sad about this world, is that compassion is something that we lack. And what I mean I mean the human race. Like, we lack compassion. We need to have more compassion, man, for every culture. And especially right now, Black people. We have to have compassion because you have to put yourself in their shoes. Even though I know it's physically and virtually impossible if you're a different skin tone and color, because you've never lived like that. But you have to put yourself as close to the shoes as possible and then understand where they're coming from. You have to, man. Then we all have to be better as human race. It's a disgrace. Agreed. So Joe Biden hasn't done nothing in 40 years. I agree, man. That's why I'm having an extremely tough time voting. I don't like either candidate, but I will vote for the lesser evil. That's it. That is it. It's that simple. He said, I see your side, Dan. If we only listen to each other, it would help so much. Color of our skin doesn't matter. The good Lord made us all the same. Exactly. There you go, Bubba. That's right. And we can only change within ourselves. We can't try to change people, but we can better ourselves to lead by example, and hopefully people will follow, because there's two types of people in this world. There's leaders and there's followers. If we can all just become a little bit more leader in our life, then we can have people follow us and hopefully change for the better. Dan, if COVID didn't hit, none of this would happen. Sports wouldn't currently be so political now. It's not just COVID, man. It's all the police brutalities and all the incidents we've had around the world. I encourage you guys to educate yourselves and look a little bit more into the web videos that are going on out there. Like I said, I just seen a very disturbing video of police officers giving water to the shooters out there in Green Bay. People that are going out there shooting peaceful protesters. And they're giving them water and allowing them to shoot people point blank and not arresting them or nothing. It's like, what is this, vigilante? Like, stop it, man. We have laws and we have to abide by them no matter the color of your skin. Everybody should be held accountable. If a Black man was out there shooting civilians, he'd be shot on sight. Why does a white man get to go out there and do it? Like, we have to be equal. We have to be equal and hold everybody accountable, man. At this point, I wouldn't be surprised. Back to the NBA, I wouldn't be surprised if they canceled the season. And again, would it hurt? Absolutely, because obviously, you guys help. The channel helps me pay my bills. So every time there's basketball, it also assists me. I have a couple part-time jobs on the side. Due to the YouTube channel, it basically all becomes a full-time job and a part-time job when you mix everything together. So that's how I'm able to pay my rent, my bills, go out and do the things that I love to do. However, whenever the YouTube channel is down, I struggle. So would it hurt my pocket? Sure. But I am willing and I am accepting of this as long as something gets done justice-wise, man. We all have to make sacrifices for justice to be made. They still don't have Breonna Taylor's killer. Like, there still hasn't been justice for her. There still hasn't been justice for so many others, man. So many others that don't come to mind right now. But change needs to happen, period. If you guys have any questions for me or want to comment or disagree with me, go right on ahead. I'm going to go ahead and read your guys' comments now. He said, my cousin applied for a home and wasn't not approved because she checked off Black. She reapplied and checked off white and was approved with the same credentials. Tell me that's not systematic racism. Absolutely. Absolutely. And to be honest with you, I'm going to be straight up with you too. Whenever I apply somewhere, I put white because I get past as light-skinned. I never put Hispanic for the same reason, because we don't get the same sort of treatment as the privileged do. So yeah, absolutely. I understand the struggle there. And I'm glad she was able to qualify for the home. That's the bottom line. And shout out to your sister for being smart enough to change that category. But yeah, that's unfortunate that we have to hide our own identities in order to get some similar treatment. So again, that only supports our point. My man said, I hope the season doesn't get canceled. This would be our best chance to win a championship, and how that would be for LA. Well, I'm going to tell you this, Swag, man. I believe in such a thing as good karma. If the season does get canceled, I will believe that we will come right back and win a championship next season. But I feel you. I hope the season, for some reason, gets, they're able to finish it out at the right time and under the right circumstances. However, there are more important things at hand, and I would completely understand. I will completely understand if the season's canceled. How do you feel about human rights being abused in China, Dan? Man, you know what? I need to educate myself more on what's going on in China. I can't really, nobody's human rights should ever be abused, period. But I can't make a comment on something I'm not educated on. So I'm going to go ahead and just put, I'm currently concerned about the United States as of right now, but I do wish the Chinese the best, man, because we love everybody. And again, I don't know what's going on in China, to be honest with you. Like I said, I don't watch the news like that, especially because I don't believe a lot of what the news spews. But people do send me videos, and I do educate myself as much as I can about what's going on right here in our very country. But I do know that third world countries and other countries are suffering as well. I mean, I was just in Mexico the other day, and as beautiful as Mexico is, there's also a lot of poverty and a lot of corruption with the police over there. So, it makes me sad in a way, because I'm like, my mom lives over there. They deserve better as well. So, again, world peace and equality would be ideal, but we're far from it. Far from it. He said, Dan, the U.S. is a disaster. First, we couldn't tame COVID, how other countries could, and we haven't been able to handle racism while other countries are more peaceful. I guess this wasn't the dominant country we once thought it was, right? Because we've only gotten one stimulus check, and it took me dang near 5 months to get mine. And as far as everything else, it's been an atrocity, man. But again, it matters who runs this country right now. Let's not forget who runs the country right now. People don't want to blame him because they support him blindly. But in reality, this man has ran this country into the ground. And I've noticed one thing. You could agree or disagree with me, but ever since Trump came into office, the racists have come out of the woodworks, and they're running away with it. The cops feel empowered. All kinds of BS is happening in this world due to the fact that Trump is at the office, because they follow their leader, and that's unfortunate. But other countries have been treated better. Other countries believe in equality. Other countries have gotten multiple stimulus checks, and I'm saying, like, you would think that this country would do a much better job. So I am very disappointed in the way it's been run. And again, people won't agree with me, but I'm completely fine with it. This is my platform, and this is my opinion. You're entitled to yours. He said, thanks for ignoring my comments, man. I guess you feel like I speak BS. No, I just barely read your comment, but okay. I guess you feel entitled for me to have you to read your comments. Okay. But he said, BS, but whatever, dude, still support your channel. Don't agree with a lot of what you said, though. Just not realistic. Hey, let's agree to disagree. I appreciate the support, but you don't have to agree with me. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's still all love. At the end of the day, we have to spread love. So it doesn't matter if you agree with me or not. All I know is that I haven't said one thing wrong, and I'm sticking for what I believe for. Whether you guys like me or not, that's not my job. Is not to get you guys to like me, man. When I first started this YouTube channel, it's just to share my basketball knowledge with you guys and hopefully spread some positivity. Unfortunately, this world that we live in makes it extremely hard to spread positivity in these times. However, I'll do the best I can. That's all I can do. He said, LeBron is my favorite player at this time, but he is a hypocrite. His Chinese fans were looking for him to speak out for them. Man, you know what, man? Basketball players are human beings just like us. They make mistakes as well. We can't hold them to superhero type. You can't really hold them to that standard. Like, he's not a superhero. He can't save everybody, man. He's just a human being. So I do defend LeBron on that stand. But I understand you have your right to be mad at whoever you want. It's your opinion. I'm doing all right, Juan. How you doing, bro? Good to see you. He said, Dan, I believe the NBA should not have sold their soul to China. Again, that all of that is just based on opinions, man. What your opinion, he said, she said. But look, at the end of the day, look, and it's just entertainment, like my man said right here. As a society, we need to stare in the mirror and look at ourselves. Absolutely, Keith. That's probably one of the best comments that we've seen on here, man. So I appreciate that. He said, yo, Dan, the cities with riots and highest poverty and murder rates are being run by Demorats. Okay, but again, no matter what your political view is, doesn't matter. In my opinion, Trump has not done a good job at all. Like, and his mouth is so ridiculous. Like, how can this man say the things that he has? Like, how can this man say the things that he has and still be running for president? Like, I don't understand that. Once upon a time, presidency was held at the highest standard. The most educated and more well-rounded people were up there for the most part. Now, obviously, you have politicians that are corrupt and stuff like that. But just based off of the stuff he said on himself is just ridiculous. And I think the only people that support Trump are the people that are in good standing, meaning you own a business, you own a home, or, you know, you're doing extremely well for yourself. But minorities and people in poverty states, people that are suffering and struggling and haven't received nothing, people that don't get the same tax cuts you guys get, definitely don't. Definitely don't. And I don't support Biden either. But again, it's all about voting the lesser evil, and Trump has just been atrocious at the helm. This has been the worst the country has ever lived since I can remember, ever. He said, that's the problem, Dan. You care about what he says other than what he does. He hasn't done nothing for me. He hasn't done nothing for me. And he hasn't done nothing for my neighborhood. Maybe he did something for you. Like I said, tax cuts look extremely good for those business owners. Are there bots in here, Dan? You that big bro. He said, you got bots in here. Hello. It's okay. Like, again, whether they're bots or not, they still need to be educated. So I'm going to go ahead and give them my opinion. So are they really this many right-wing trolls that follow the Lakers? This is crazy. You'd be surprised. Like I said, they come out of the woodworks right now that, you know, President Donald Duck is out here, you know, spewing venom. It makes a lot of people get brainwashed, and basically they come out here, you know, with their blind thoughts. But that's okay. That's their opinion, and I'm not going to hate them for it. I do hate their opinions, but I don't hate them. Because we shouldn't hate people, man. Hate only brings more hate. And they're entitled to think whatever they want. It's unfortunate, but he said all Trump do is complimenting about NBA players and NFL players on Twitter. What? Dan, before the virus, the economy was booming. Black unemployment was an all-time low. Not even Obama did what Trump has done for the economy pre-corona. And I'm not a Trump supporter, by the way. Trump claims he did something for the economy, but I haven't seen anything. I don't know where I live. You don't see nothing of what Trump claims he's done. You still see tons of unemployment for every race. And, you know, all he does is insult different cultures and nationalities. And he gets away with it because he's the president. Trump should never have been a president. He should have stayed in business because he is a shark. You got to give him that. But that's it. That's all he is, man. He's a shark with no heart. You got to have heart to be the president. And Barack Obama had a lot of heart. Barack Obama helped me. Look, when I broke my hand, I used Obamacare. I wouldn't have been able to pay my medical bill of like, what, $10,000 for the surgery on my hand. So he definitely assisted me, and forever I will be indebted to him. And I will always love what he's done for our country, especially for minorities and us that struggle. For like I said, there's a lot of people that are better off with somebody like Trump because he's for the rich. It's not for the poor, you know, but we need somebody that's for everybody. That's it. For everybody, not just for you guys. He said economy was the highest it's ever been before coronavirus. That's not what it seemed like to me. That's not what it seemed like to me at all. He said Obama didn't do jack just because Obamacare helped your broke hand. Doesn't mean he changed the world, LMAO. Oh, wow. So answer me this. How exactly did Trump change the world? That's all I want to know. And I wasn't going to have this argument, but I'm annoyed now. How did Trump change the world other than bring more racist people out of the woodworks and basically hate on people and the tax cuts for you wealthy folks? That's all I want to know. He said, look at all the Trump supporters getting pissed at this guy for speaking what he feels. If y'all don't like it, leave. Trump can kiss my ass. Thank you, bro. I feel the same way. I mean, they're welcome to stay, but their points are just going to get basically deflected left and right because they're not making any points. He said, man, these Trump supporters are weird. Hey, man, You know, that's their opinion at the end of the day. He said, like he said, black economy was at an all-time high before the corona. I don't know about all that. I don't know about all that at all. My friends weren't doing good, you know, before the coronavirus. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't believe that at all. I think a lot of the stuff you guys spew is things that he says to you guys, and you guys take it at face value and you reciprocate it and spit it right back out. That's how I feel. Like, there's no numbers to back that up at all. At all. So was Hispanics? Definitely not. And you must not be Hispanic. And if you are, you're probably whitewashed, which means that you grew up in a nicer suburb area and you're not really embracing your culture. Anybody who really embraces the Hispanic culture is not voting for Trump. Straight up. Straight up. If you're different, and you know what I mean by different, like you were wealthy off starting from the beginning of your life, yeah, you're a Trump supporter all day. It's either that or you're not Hispanic, straight up. He said Trump talking points. He said they're statistics, Dan. They're definitely not statistics. And statistics can be altered because I live in the hood. I know exactly what it looks like. It never looked like the economy was back. The gas was super high. Like my taxes were BS. Like I got taxed like crazy and I didn't make much. Like seriously? No, stop it. Stop it. He said, grew up with all blacks and Mexicans, my dude. Just because you grew up with them doesn't mean you understand them, period. So it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Obviously, you don't understand them because you over here taking up against it. So it's all good. He said they're not being intellectually honest. Don't bother repeating the Fox News propaganda. All right, I'm done talking about Trump. At the end of the day, you guys believe whatever you want. Vote for whoever you want. I'm not going to come out here with my pitchfork. You know, that's your opinion. I know who I'm voting for. There's nothing nobody can say that's going to change, you know, the way I look. He said Hispanics for Trump is a fraud. For real? He said they don't go together. Absolutely not. He called us rapists. I mean, how can we go together unless you really are a rapist and you believe what he says and go for it? But at the end of the day, it is what it is, man. Like at the end of the day, politics are never ending. That's why I don't like to talk politics. You can't get through people. So, you know what I'm saying? It's like religion to people, politics. So all I'm going to say is I support BLM, baby, Black Lives Matter. I hope that their point gets across by stopping play. And if they have to stop all season, I'm with it. As much as it hurts my pockets and it hurts me, I'm 100% with it. And I support my brothers and sisters, man, out here fighting for justice. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it. And if you think there's something wrong with it, please check yourself in the mirror because you're part of the problem, straight up. And I'm not saying this to hate because I have nothing but love for even those people that actually have nothing but hate. Hopefully, the love that we all spread and share will eventually become infectious and will reciprocate. But at the end of the day, like I said, all that matters here, man, is that we stand together in unity and we basically love one another and stand in solidarity with our NBA players and with our Black brothers and sisters. And we're going to continue to do that. So whether you like it or not, man, down like the video if you don't like it, up like it if you agree with me. All good, man. It makes the same difference to me at the end of the day. Much love to everybody. Thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate you guys. This was a very different video than I normally make. And like I said, I don't really like making these type of videos because they're never-ending conversations, but sometimes they're necessary. And that's why I came out and did it. Thank you guys again for tuning in. Don't forget to smash the like button if you're with me. Smash the dislike button if you're against me. All good, baby. It's all love. Take it easy. Have a good day, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.